Shalom, shalom. We give all praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. We give double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Peace and shalom to the elect. It's pushing out this word throughout the four corners of the globe. By Hashem Kodash and the Holy Spirit. We do these lessons for the edification of the house of Dawadah, the house of David. Shalom to you. Hope you're in good spirits. As you can see, we have the law, the light, and the horn. What does it represent? When we do our Passover service, our Shabbat service, when we do the ceremony, we come to a point in the ceremony where we give up three prayers. The first prayer is to the law. The second prayer is for the light. And the third prayer is for the horn. The first prayer for the law, we would say, Barakatha Yahweh, Hahawa'ah, Nathanawa, Tharoah. And it says in the Hebrew, bless you, Most High Yahweh, for giving us the law. So what does it mean by the law? Well, the law, when you look it up, just a regular definition, etymology of the law is an ordinance, rules prescribed by an authority, regulations, rights and legal privilege, layer of measurement, that which is fixed from that which is set or established, a statute, commandment, direction, instruction, legal body of directives. In other words, customs. Now that law protects, it governs, it guides, it helps, it corrects. This is what the law established that was given to the nation of Israel, the laws that Moses went up to Mount Sinai to get for the people, for the Israelites, the set of laws that would govern Yahweh's people, the Lord's people, who the world called God. His people need to be governed, need to have judgment, need to have directives, statutes, and commandments to govern them, to guide them, to give them a custom. And we read this in the first scripture, Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 17, and we're going to start at the 8th verse. It says, if there arise a matter too hard for thee in judgment, between blood and blood, between plea and plea, and between stroke and stroke, being matters of controversy within thy gates, then thou shalt arise and get thee up to the place which the Lord Yahweh power shall choose. Meaning, if you have a difficulty in decision on what to do and how to guide yourself or how to guide your people, we need to set up a place, a judgment seat, a mercy seat, a decision place that will guide our people in the right way. It says, if thou shalt come unto the priests, the Levites, and unto the judge that be for in those days, and inquire, and they shall show thee the sentence of judgment, because the set of laws, the set of laws guide you, helps you, protects you, gives you avenue on how to make a righteous decision. See, today's laws, we got Esau's penal laws and penal codes. It's all over the place. It's confusing. You could have a whole library of Esau's laws and still don't have a good judgment, or still the judgment or the outcome becomes skewed or misrepresented or just totally ignored, because they laws change and they laws have loopholes, always a way out for certain people who may understand his loophole, because he set the loopholes in his laws on purpose. So only those who are abreast and those who understand how to get out find that way. But the laws of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua, there is no loopholes. It's either left or right, up or down, in or out. Our laws are perfect. It says, and thou shalt do according to the sentence that which they of that place which the Lord shall choose shall show thee, and thou shalt observe and to do according to all that they inform thee. This is what it means. You follow what the Lord says. You follow exactly from letter to letter on what the laws say. This was the purpose of the law. Verse 11 says, according to the sentence of the law, which they shall teach thee, and according to the judgments which they shall tell thee, thou shalt do. Thou shalt not decline from the sentence which they shall show thee to the right hand or to the left. There is no loopholes. There is no way outs. You do what it says. Why? Because this is how we guide our people righteously. And the man that will do presumptuously, right? Presumptuously, he and will not hearken unto the priest that standeth to minister before the Lord thy power, or unto the judge, even that man shall die. See, it's straight like that. If you do presumptuous, let's look up this word presumptuous. If a man do presumptuously, what does presumptuously? Is in the Hebrew, Zadawan, right? H2087, Zadawan, with pride, insolence, presumptuous, arrogant. Meaning, he's better than the law. This man believes he's better than the law. So if this man believe he's better than the law and will not hearken unto the priest, he shall die. And it says, thou shalt put away the evil from Israel. See, this is how we govern our people. You live by the law, do what it says. If you don't, bye-bye. So all Israel will fear the Lord. And all the people shall hear and fear, and do no presumptuously. Don't rebel. Don't be proudful. This is how we take pride away from man, away from the Israelite man and woman and child, by doing what the Lord say do. Verse 14 said, when thou come up to the land which the Lord thy power giveth thee, and possess it, and shall dwell therein, and shall say, I will set a king over me, like all the nations that are about me, thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee, whom the Lord thy power shall choose. So when we come into the land, this is in the Deuteronomy at the time of the Exodus, when we come into the land, the Lord says, if you have a king like all the other nations, it should be of your brother. These are the people that's supposed to govern our people. And when you read down further, where it tells you that the king, or the one set over you that you chose of your brother, he should guide the people with the law still. Right here, verse 18, and it shall be when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in the book out of that which is before the priests and the Levites. And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, that he may learn to fear the Lord thy power, even the king, so he don't become proud, to keep all the words of this law and these statutes, to do them, so he could guide his people righteously. This was the purpose of the law. This is what the purpose of the law is. So in these times, speeding up to these times, what is the law? What does the law represent today? Is it just a set of codes, a set of guidelines? What was the law for? Because we know in a spiritual sense what the law is for. Let's get it. This is John, St. John, the 1st chapter and the 17th verse. It says, for the law was given by Moses, but grace and truth came by Yahushua and Mashiach, because we understood that we could not follow the law perfectly. But through Yahushua, who the world called Jesus, he will guide us and help us through with grace and mercy and understanding what the law represents in your time. So the whole purpose of the law is to follow Yahushua. the whole purpose with faith. Isaiah 33 and 22 says, for the Lord is our judge, the Lord is our lawgiver, that's Yahweh. The Yahweh is our king, and he will save us. This was the purpose of the law, to save, to guide, to help, to give a custom what our people were supposed to do. And through Yahweh, because he became the law. Moses gave the law, but through Yahweh gave us mercy and truth. What it really means to follow the law, what it really means to love your brother, what it really means not to covet your neighbor's wife, his manservant, his maid, ox, anything that is thy neighbor. To keep the Sabbath. What was the law really for? It was really for custom and a guide for the people of Israel. James 4. Chapter 4, verse 12. It says, there is one lawgiver who is able to save and to destroy. Who art thou that judgest another? Right? Because you can't keep it. Who are you to judge another? But go now, ye that say, today or tomorrow will I go to such a city and continue there a year, and buy and sell and get gain, whereas you know not what shall be on the morrow. For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time and vanish away. Get yourself right. Make sure you follow the law, statutes, and commandments in order to judge. This is what Matthew the 7th chapter is talking about. Read that. It said, it's even a vapor that appeareth for a little time then vanish away, for that you ought to say, if the Lord will, we shall live and do this or do that. But now you rejoice in your boasting. All such rejoicing is evil. Therefore, to him that knoweth to do good and doeth it not, to him it is sin. So you being a judge, you sitting, you over your people, and you sinning yourself. You breaking the law. This is why we have to get this. John 7 and 24. It says, judge not according to appearance, but judge righteous judgments. In order to judge righteous judgments, you have to know the law. You have to know Yahweh Shai. You have to know grace, mercy, and truth. This was the whole purpose. Now the light is the second prayer. We say, Barakatah Yahweh, Hahawa'ah, Nathandanao, Awar, La Ra'ah, meaning bless you most high Yahweh for giving us the light to see. What is the light? Well, in the time of the Passover, the Exodus, the light was the candlestick. When you look up the candlestick, it was Manawah, H4501 is a lampstand. That's what Manawah is. But when you look up Manawah, it means a beam, right? Or loom, right? A beam of light, and a loom or apparatus with the light stands on, which is Nayar, the lamp, the light, the glistening of a candle. So it's a compound word, right? Manawah, meaning Manawah, and Nayar, meaning the light and the stand that is on, that the light sits on. That's the candlestick. That's the what we call the menorah today. Okay? So Exodus, you look at Exodus, the 25th chapter, and the 31st verse, this is what the Lord said. The Lord said, and thou shalt make a candlestick, right? That's the candlestick, of pure gold, and of beaten work shall be the candlestick made. His shaft and his branches, his bowls, his knops, and his flowers shall be of the same, which the decorations or how it's made, what it's fashioned into. Like I said, is not only the stand, but it's the candle or the light that sits upon the candle. Right? And what does the candle represent? What does this light stick represent? What does this candlestick represent? What does the menorah really represent? Psalms 119, 105, 119, 105, it says, Thy word is a lamp unto my feet and a light unto my path. This is what the candlestick represents. This is what the menorah represents. This is what the menorah represents. It represents the word of the Lord. Remember, the law is Yahweh Shai. The light is the word, right? Is the word, because what it do? Psalms 18. What does this light, what does this word, what does Yahweh Shai do? Psalms 18, verse 27, it says, For thou wilt save the afflicted people, but will bring down high looks. Remember that proud has to be killed out of the nation of Israel. We don't need pride. So these high looks in that prowess way, that's got to be taken out of Israel. It says, For thy will light my candle, the Lord my power will enlighten my darkness. And this is what the light for. Remember, it's a lamp unto thy feet to show your way. For by thee I have run through a troop, and by my power have I leaped over a wall. As for God, the Most High, his word, Yahweh, the judge, the power, his way is perfect. The word of the Lord is tried, right? This light is tried. He is a buckler to those that trust in him. And this is the reason for the light. This is the reason for Yahweh Shai. This is the reason for the candlestick. It will enlighten my darkness. The word of the Lord is tried. It is your shield and your salvation, the word. This is what the light represents. It lightens your darkness. Now, who will deliver you from your darkness? Colossians. We know it's Yahweh Shai, but we prove it with the scriptures. Colossians 1 and 12 says, Giving thanks unto the Father. That's what we did in the prayer, the second prayer. We gave thanks for the menorah, the light to see, right? We give thanks to the Father, which have made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, in truth, right? In Yahweh Shai, who have delivered us from the power of darkness, confusion, being slaves to Esau's system. This helps us get through these dark periods, the light to see the word. It says, and has translated us into the kingdom of his dear son, Yahweh Shai, in whom we have redemption through his blood. Remember, over the doorpost, right? The Passover, right? The skipping from house to house so it won't kill your firstborn, right? The deliverance. It says, in whom we have redemption through his blood, even the forgiveness of sins. This is what Yahweh represent. Who is in the invisible, who is in the image of the invisible power, the firstborn of every creature, for by him were all things created, that are in heaven, that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones, dominions, or principalities, or powers. All things were created by him and for him. This is the reason for the light. This is the reason for the glory. This is the reason why you are given grace and truth and mercy. The light, that lamp, that law, that guide, that deliverance, that custom to govern your people. This is what it's for, and this is what we represent. Because St. John, first chapter, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with power, and the Word was power. The Word is Yahweh Shai. Remember that Word, the law, the guidance. The same was in the beginning with power. All things were made by him, just like we read in Colossians, And without him was not anything made that was made, principalities, dominions, thrones. In him was life, and the life was the light of men. And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehended it not. Why? Because it's confusing to those who are in darkness. Remember, the man that wanders out of the way will remain in the congregation of the dead. These are the ones in darkness that don't understand the light, that don't understand Yahweh Shai and what he represents. Last thing, the horn. The horn, the third prayer that we pray in the Sabbath service, in the Pesach service. We say, Barakatah Yahweh Ha'awa'ah Latananawa Ha'ayala Koan Lachora La'aim. Bless you, Most High Yahweh, for giving us the ram's horn to call the people. To call the people. This is what the ram horn represents. It was an instrument used to call the people. So when we look up this ram's horn, what does it mean? Shawapah in the Hebrew 7782, the ram horn, or a coronet that gives a clear sound. A clear sound. An instrument that gives a clear sound. Let's get it. Joshua 6th chapter, 5th verse. It says, and it will come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horn, and you hear the sound of the trumpet, all the people shall shout with a great shout, and the wall of the city shall fall down flat, and the people shall ascend up every man straight before him. Ram's horn. That ram horn gives a shout to the people. It is a direction. It is also a way. It also a light. It is also a guidance. We use this. It became accustomed to us to call the people, to inform the people where we should go, what we should do, how we should turn. All these things was used by the ram's horn. So what does it really mean? What is the ram's horn? 1 Samuel 2:1, Hannah prayed and said, my heart rejoices in the Lord. My horn is exalted in the Lord, Yahweh. My mouth is enlarged over my enemies because I rejoice in thy salvation. That horn is your mouth. That horn directs the people. That's why the Shawapah, when you read the definition, it says makes a clear sound. So if you're not speaking the right words, the clear words, the distinct words, what are you speaking? What directions are you really giving? Because the horn, the sheep's horn, right, is supposed to guide the sheep. But if you giving an unclear sound, sheep is going one way and sheep going the other way. Your tongue is your horn. 1 Corinthians chapter 14, verse 6. Now, brethren, if I come unto you speaking with tongues, that shall I profit you? What shall I profit you, except I speak to you either by revelation or by knowledge, or by prophesying or by doctrine? And even things without life, giving sound, whether pipe or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds. How shall it be known what is piped or harp? For if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? This is the purpose. How are we going to guide the people? What sound are you sounding for reveille? Are you sounding for retreat? Are you sounding to charge? What are you sounding? What doctrine are you giving? What prophecy are you laying out to the people? This is the purpose. This is the purpose. It says, likewise, ye except you utter by the tongue words easy to be understood, how shall it be known what is spoken? For you shall speak into the air. Ain't nobody gonna hear or understand what the hell you talking about. There are, it may be, so many kinds of voices in the world. See, this is why we know it's the horn. It says, and none of them is without signification. Therefore, if I know not the meaning of the voice, I shall be unto him that speaketh a barbarian, and he that speaketh shall be a barbarian unto me. Ain't no, the communications is broke with unclear tongues, unclear sounds, unclear voices. You got one person say, we not this, or we this, and we Hamites, or we not Israelites, or what the hell are we? You confusing the people. We going one direction, you trying to pull us in a different direction. You still confusing the people. This is why you have an uncertain sound. Your trumpet broke. Your trumpet is broke. You don't need to be playing. I played an instrument. I played 3-4 instruments growing up, all through schooling. And when your trumpet is broke, the whole class is messed up. The whole band is messed up. Look, sit down, go get a new trumpet, yo. I played the sax, the trumpet. I played the clarinet. I played the French horn. All of these give certain sounds. When it's broke, you're going to know when it's out of tune. And this is what some people are. They out of tune. Their voices are out of tune. Check your horn, yo. You giving uncertain sounds and it's going to be death for you. Remember, the rebellious, the presumptuous is going to be put out of Israel. Yo. Speak the sounds. Speak the correct doctrine. Speak the correct words. Luke, finish with this. Luke 1:68. Blessed be the Lord, power of Israel, for he has visited and redeemed his people and raised up a horn of salvation for us in his house, in the house of his servant David, as he has spoken by the mouth of his holy prophets, which have been since the world began, that we shall be saved from our enemies and from the hand of all that hate us, the Egyptians, the Romans, the Babylonians, even now the Americans, the new Babylon. This is why we need the Lord, the light, and the horn of salvation, which is Yahweh Shai, because this is what it represents in these times. To perform the mercy promised to our fathers and to remember his holy covenant. The oath the oath which he swore to our father Abraham, that he would grant unto us, the Israelites, that we, being delivered out of the hand of our enemies, might serve him without fear. Same thing we did in Exodus. Let my people go, so that he may worship our power in the desert, in holiness and righteousness before him all the days of our life. And this is the purpose of the law, the light, and the horn, to guide our people, to be saved from our enemies through Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Shai, whom the world called Jesus, right? Dying on the cross and his blood saving us in these times, saving us out of this destruction that's coming on Babylon. We give all praises to Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai for all these things, for the understanding of the truth, for the understanding of the mercy that is given to the house of Israel. Hopefully next time we could get more into these things. Shalom.